I mean, 72 hours later and wiser, how do you look back on this period?
First of all, ours is a very peace-loving state. So for something like this to happen in Rajasthan, it's a huge shock. Not just to me, but I think to the ordinary citizen also. I would say here that we have responded magnificently to this, whether it's government, whether it's the people, whether it's the professionals. Everybody has risen to the occasion. 9 blasts, one after another, we have read about. But we actually saw this happen on the 13th Tuesday. I'm happy to say that the response has been terrific, in the sense, I was in Jaipur when I heard about it. I was back on the Air Force flight by 11:30 in the night. By the time I got to hospital, which was about 12 o'clock, within 15 minutes of this happening, the people had been brought into hospital, the medical teams had swung into action. By 2 o'clock in the morning, all serious operations, almost 24 of them had been performed. And the situation was...
And I believe most of your hospitals had more blood than they needed.
Well, there was a lot of talk where people said that blood was not available, which is completely untrue.
Yeah.
People queued up. And let me tell you, there were young people, there were old people, and there were people of all communities.
And I believe a lot of the victims were just brought by bystanders.
No, I will say here that the bystanders certainly rose to the occasion, but the administration and the police was certainly not behind. Between them, they had these people in hospital within 15 or 20 minutes.
But there is,
the spirit is...
There is the rise of this new civic spirit in India.
Amazing,
people don't run away.
Amazing the way the spirit that I was able to see. It was quite extraordinary.
Two things, Vasu. One, people rise to the occasion and help. We've seen that now in calamities, rail accidents. People now come, rally around local people, they help. And the second, the basic instinct of India's populated areas in the past, of rioting, band, protest, targeting somebody on suspicion, not a whimper of that in your state.
Look, we took a great deal of care over this, Shekhar, because apart from the medical part of it, the next morning, those people's cremations and all that took place. Public representatives, elected representatives, they were all present at the Anteshtis. And the amount of compensation was given by the ministers within hours of that, in a special visit to each of their homes. So each of the homes where they lost somebody or people were there to hold their hands. And apart from that, we imposed curfew at 9 o'clock in the morning.
And I believe you made sure there were no signs of blotches of blood.
I saw to it that before 7 o'clock in the morning, before the people hit the streets, the blood was washed away, everything was cleared away after the forensic people had taken whatever they had to take. Everything was cleared so that it looked normal and there was no angst in the people who would come out. If they saw this, there would be.
But there was a call for band, which, from people sort of related to your party, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, but it's obvious that your party distanced themselves from it.
We made it very clear that there was going to be a curfew. And we called it, in fact, across the state, that there would be a holiday that would coincide with this, and also a mourning, state mourning, for the people that passed away. So there was no call for any of this. And people have worked very well with this. We saw to it that the families got taken care of. There were ministers sitting round the clock in the hospital. Each hospital had rosters of ministers, so that if there was anybody who was lost or a problem, they could have
percentage of Muslim population in your state is about the same as in Gujarat, which is in your neighborhood. And many would have thought that maybe a repeat would happen. Now, the majority would turn against the minority to take revenge or to teach them a lesson.
Shekhar, I have to say that every city has its own character and responds in its own special way. There is no there's no saying that because Gujarat responded in a particular fashion or Maharashtra responded in a particular fashion, that Rajasthan would also respond in that fashion. People would have taken care, and we took care that no opportunity would arise where something like this could happen. So we did take care for that. And the people also rose to
And you would say Muslims should rest assured that they will be safe.
Look, the safety and security of my people, of castes, of creeds, of religions, is the responsibility of this government and also of its people. And we will rise to that occasion.